Wake up, thinkers. I think I got something to say to you. It's late March, and I really should be playing Buzzword on NAQT.com with me, Quizmaster Jack, here on Thinking Game Trivia. It's week 6. We're into the pop culture and sports questions, 10 each. Each question is going to be a series of clues. It goes from more obscure to more well-known. I'm going to try to buzz in as soon as possible. Let's get into it.
A resident of this city named Alia becomes the villain Lady Wi-Fi after being akumatized by Hawkmoth in the cartoon Miraculous. While living in this city, Mindy Chen meets an expatriate American marketer played by Lily Collins. A Netflix show is titled Emily in...
Okay. Emily in Paris, I think is how you're actually supposed to pronounce that. The title of the show, it's Paris, just like my favorite Star Trek character.
In this song's outro, the featured artist says, "I am so alone in the night," as a phone call ends. Its second verse exclaims cyber system overload and declares women are my favorite guy. DJ Crazy Times and Miss Biana Electronica are the credited artists of
what is
for
this
10
called?
Points. What 2023 Eurodance parody?
Yeah. What was this called? It's like World of Sound or something. Planet of the Bass. Well, that's just a case of knowing what they were talking about, but not knowing what the actual name of it was. But I'm going to write that off as a 2023 music question? Question mark? And hope that that was one of the music questions.
One of these animals appears with Chip and Dale in the short Chips Ahoy. A 1986 film depicts one of these animals as an animatronic alien who lands in Cleveland. One of these animals is an ad mascot first voiced by Gilbert Gottfried. For 10 points, what animal...
A duck? It's an Affleck duck, right? It's a duck? Okay, not a goose, it's a duck. I like that they had to change the voice actor of the Affleck duck because of some problematic things that Gilbert Gottfried said. Almost like a real milkshake duck.
The protagonist of this show works as a counselor at Mr. O'Neill's summer camp and breaks up with Tom Sloan in the 2000 special Is It Fall Yet? The artistic Jane Lane was friends with the title member of the Morgendorffer family on...
It's Daria. They said Morgendorffer. That's Daria's last name.
Both this song and By the Time I Get to Phoenix were inspired by Jimmy Webb's breakup with Susie Horton. This song, which says sweet green icing is flowing down, was first recorded by Richard Harris.
Richard Harris.
For 10 points,
Sweet
what
green
song,
icing?
a hit for Donna Summer, laments someone left the cake out in the rain?
Oh. MacArthur Park. Yeah, I know nothing. That was some deep MacArthur Park stuff. I think I'd heard of it being Richard Harris, but leaving your cake out in the rain is really the only thing I know about MacArthur Park. I don't think that Planet of the Bass counted as a music question.
In a 2012 film, this character kills Ravenna and is protected by Eric, played by Chris Hemsworth. Peter Dinklage's comments led
It's going to be Snow White then. Yeah, so that first one was Snow White and the Huntsman? Was that the one? It was Kristen Stewart as Snow White, and Chris Hemsworth was the Huntsman. I think that had Charlize Theron as the evil stepmother. I don't know. All of these like gritty reimaginings are pulling together, and even this last one is just so unnecessary. Just like the How to Train Your Dragon, How I Met Your Dragon, that remake. Live action, but Toothless just looks exactly the same. Who cares that it's a real person then? Toothless still looks good. Justice for Jay Baruchel. Bay Jaruchel.
In a promotional video, this player warns that all roads lead to me. In 2023, this player, nicknamed the Unkillable Demon King, won his 4th Worlds title playing alongside Keria and Gumayushi. For 10 points, named this mid laner for T1, widely considered the greatest League of Legends player ever.
Another video game question I'm going to get wrong because I don't care about esports. Josh. Sure, Faker.
The protagonist of this musical admits that I remember the face, but I can't recall the name after returning to Jingletown.
Jingletown?
In this musical, Tunney's friend Johnny develops the alter ego Saint Jimmy. Good riddance.
There we go. American Idiot. The Green Day musical. I was really trying. I was on the King and I for a second there. Like, I remember the name, but I can't recall the face. So it's like, isn't that from the King and I? Nope. That's from what track is that off of? Might be from Wake Me Up When September Ends. Is that even off of American Idiot? I don't think it is. So that's probably a musical question. So maybe Planet of the Bass did count as a music question.
In an early appearance, this character and Taurus the Thief break into the Tower of the Elephant. After this hero appeared in Weird Tales, his creator wrote an essay about the lore of Samaria and the Hyborian Age. A 1932...
Conan the Barbarian? Yeah, he was from Hyboria. Picking up that Hyboria knowledge.
This man played Dr. Harting, who creates a superhuman in the Vin Diesel film Bloodshot. In another role, a character played by this actor, while in an Italian mine, sexually assaults a Hungarian architect. For 10 points, what Australian actor played the patron Harrison Van Buren in...
Guy Pearce? How do you spell his name? It's Guy Pearce. I was right. Don't give me that. That's pronounced the same way. I'd only heard of Bloodshot through the How Did This Get Made podcast episode about it. But that was I listened to that a long time ago, and they probably only referred to him as Guy Pearce the whole time. But the last half of that was about The Brutalists. He was nominated for an Oscar for that. Lost out to Kieran Culkin, who was an answer a couple of weeks ago. It's all coming together. Really just learn everybody who's nominated for supporting actor or actress, and just lock those down, because that seems to be what Buzzword's doing. Zoe Saldana question next week, calling it. That's it for pop culture. Now on to sports. I missed the esports question. Let's see if I can get physical sports correct.
A player of this sport named Luke Kwan is one of several prominent creators sponsored by Tacomo. Athletes who primarily play this sport on YouTube include Grant Horvat and Garrett Clark.
Yeah, it's golf. You watch one golf video on YouTube, and they just fill you up with Grant Horvath content. I'm not sure I've watched a single Grant Horvath video, but listen, I watched the Golf Digest stuff. I like that. I was into Random Golf Club, and then I realized that guy, Eric Alderslang, was married to Sia at one point. Wild stuff. I watched his content for so long, and then one episode he's just like, yeah, it's weird, married to a celebrity sometime, and I'm sad that it didn't work out. I was like, wait, whoa. Look, this guy, who is his? Sia. Married to Sia. And now he just plays golf on YouTube. What a life.
This man, who was the first Pro Bowl quarterback for Tampa Bay, replaced Tony Banks as starter during a championship season. The only QB ever released immediately after a Super Bowl.
That immediately released? I think it was Brad Johnson. Trent Dilfer. Yep. I forgot who won the first Super Bowl for the Buccaneers. I was initially buzzing on like Joe Flacco because he didn't get a lot of respect after he won that Super Bowl with the Ravens. But yeah, Trent Dilfer. He was at the helm. But I mean, defense won that Super Bowl for them. Brad Johnson did spend a long time as a Buccaneers quarterback, but I guess he was not the quarterback when they won the Super Bowl.
This team's general manager, Bob Whitsitt, drafted a player later arrested for dogfighting named Quintel Woods. While on this team, convicted sex offender Ruben Patterson was punched by teammate Zach Randolph. From 1996 to 2004, Rasheed Wallace played on, for 10 points, What
was the Pistons? Trailblazers. Oh, after 2004, then Sheed went to the Pistons.
From 2009 to 2010, this man had a franchise worst 420 win percentage as manager of the Diamondbacks.
Nice.
Jim Crane fired this manager in 2020 after he and coach Alex Cora were suspended. For 10 points,
who was the...
what current Detroit manager, who was implicated in the Astros sign-stealing scandal, goes by AJ?
AJ Hinch. All right. You give me a first name, I'll give you a last name.
After scoring a 5-1 victory, this club's left back mocked an opponent's yoga celebration. Miles Lewis Skelly plays for this club, whose manager was the target of Erling Haaland's comment to "stay humble, eh?" Mikel Arteta manages, for 10 points, what rival of Tottenham called the Gunners.
Okay. Yeah, that was some deep Premier League stuff that I am not following right now. But I know who the Gunners are.
In 2024, this NFL team tied a record by having 13 players record a receiving touchdown, including Quinton Morris. Dalton Kincaid had a key drop in this team's 2024 postseason playoff loss, its fourth in 5 years to the Chiefs. For 10 points.
That's the Bills. Who's Dalton Kincaid? I can figure out, fourth string receivers of current teams. I can usually get there.
In 1988, this man's mistress, Margot Adams, sued him for emotional distress. This Hall of Famer, who ate chicken before...
It's Cal Ripken. Oh, Wade Boggs, not Cal Ripken. Just off. Yeah, Wade Boggs ate chicken before every game. Just getting them conflated. These AL East left side of the infielders.
In the 2022 draft, this team had picks 2, 4, 6, and 10, the last of which was used on Queen Egbo. In 2024, this team lost Temi Fagbenle in the expansion draft. In 2023, this team used the number 1 overall pick on South Carolina center Aaliyah Boston. For 10 points, what WNBA team is led by Caitlin Clark?
The Fever. I honestly thought we were in the NHL for a long time there. Yeah. All right. Now, college sports. Always a wild ride.
In 2011, threats of sanctions caused a law about this school signed by Jack Dalrymple to be repealed. This school placed a controversial logo in granite while building Ralph Engelstad Arena for its storied hockey team.
What's the ND? Nope. It's UND. Oh, yeah. That's some live in Western Minnesota knowledge right there that gets me that, because Ralph Engelstad Arena is where UND plays, and the less said about Ralph Engelstad, the better. But the whole controversy there is that he built the stadium, or this nice hockey arena for him, but said you have to keep a name that is of an indigenous tribe that was fallen out of favor, or the use of which has been falling out of favor, rightly so. Yeah. So there were pretty much throughout the entirety of my time living in Western Minnesota, there would be at least 2 news stories about Ralph Engelstad Arena in the local news every week. And I guess you just go talk about, do they say Fighting Sioux in this at some point? They must. They changed the name, I'm pretty sure. But they changed it after I moved away, so I wasn't fed constant news stories about it.
In 2023, this man carried a custom Gucci duffel bag that broke the all-white dress code at Wimbledon. This 2-time Australian Open winner blamed massages for a failed drug test that led to a 2025 suspension. The current world number 1 in men's singles is, for 10 points,
is it?
What Italian tennis player?
Oh. It's not Djokovic, then. I can't name the current world number 1. That's somebody else. Oh, it is Yannick Sinner. I did not think Sinner was Italian, but here we go, lucking my way into a correct answer at the end. Well, I wouldn't say week 6 was anything to write home about. Just questions that weren't in my knowledge base. Fine questions. Just not Jack coded. If you want to see if the questions in another week are coded for you, you can go to naqt.com/buzzword, check out what they got. And you can help me out by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and liking it. Thanks, folks. Always appreciate when you watch, and I will see you next time.